All About the Birds provides you with weekly analysis, game recaps, informative interviews, and it's all birds all the time.
And what's going on, everybody? As the Eagles offseason begins, unfortunately, it was an end to the season that we all did not want to happen, unfortunately. Yeah, pour one out.
Pour it right over my keyboard.
The Eagles, of course, lost to the San Francisco 49ers in the wild card round. But now the offseason is underway. There's a lot going on. Howie and Nick spoke today about a number of things. Of course, as we all know, Kevin Patullo was relieved of his duties as OC as the search for a new offensive coordinator begins. They're going to be searching. It's going to be a big swing. There's a lot going on, a lot of stuff, noise going on. It's also, listen, it's the right opportunity to take to be able to find someone that's going to, be able to hopefully write the offense. And let's see what it all comes about. But you are early in here, unfortunately, just because of the situation. But it's going to be a long off season. Unfortunately, we have to try to fill some shows too with some different stuff, different content. So there's a lot going on. We'll find a way. There'll be stuff going on with what the Eagles are doing coaching wise, with finding certain things. So we're gonna have a lot. We're gonna have a lot of news. There's a lot going on here. So
a lot of trade rumors. We got the Combine coming up, the Senior Bowl. We can talk about some players from the Senior Bowl that we're interested in. We got some good stuff coming up. I mean, arguably, and we talk about this a bunch, but this is arguably our favorite time of year. Obviously, the season is very fun. There's a lot of emotion, especially when you're winning Super Bowls. But when all is said and done, even after the Super Bowl, it's fun to dig in to see how they're going to reshape it, because no roster is ever the same, right? You hear the guys talking about it every year in the locker room. This is the last time this group of guys is ever going to be together, on a team at least. And so there's always change, and it's always interesting when you have the most aggressive and competitive GM in the NFL. Right.
Oh, yeah.
And he said it. Listen, if you listen to his press conferences, he doesn't say a lot, but he does in the way he says it. When he tells you he's going to be aggressive, when he tells you that they're going to do their best to win a championship, he's pissed, man. And when Howie's pissed, good things happen. So, I am excited. I'm excited to dig into what this team's going to look like next year. We'll start to dig in on free agents. We'll start to dig in on our own free agents, external free agents, the draft, and then we get into UDFAs. I mean, it's a fun time. It's a fun time. I'm excited. But it all starts, to your point, it all starts with this OC search.
Yeah, that's for sure. Exactly.
We can cross one off.
What?
We can cross one off the list.
Todd Monken?
Monken is headed to New York Giants with John Harbaugh.
So Monken, but as that list, as we've heard names coming about, you've heard the Brian Dable, you heard the Mike McDaniel, Cliff Kingsbury. There's a lot of names that are out there. Charlie Weiss Jr., I guess that was a name today. They're poking around on that Ole Miss. You have guys like Nathan Shieldhaas, the Rams pass game coordinator, getting a lot of looks. So head coaching looks, all OC looks. So you have that, but you also have other opportunities that are open. You have to see also Kevin Stefanski, whether he gets another head coaching job. There's still 8 more openings. So you have 8 more openings, plus you still have offensive coordinator positions as the Commanders, the Lions, the Eagles, the Buccaneers, and then I think there's one more, wasn't there? The Chargers. Yeah. So.
Well, and then you also have all the OC positions with the new head coaches.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Ravens, the Steelers. I don't know. You keep disappearing. There's a lot of movement, and they want to get it right, but they have to move quickly, because to your point, it's an unprecedented number of head coaching openings. And with that comes OC openings. And then there's a good amount of OC openings as well, like you just listed. So while they have to take their time and make sure they get it right, they gotta hustle, man. They don't want to get stuck with a Patullo again.
No. Yeah, so I don't want to see no hiring from within. I don't want to see any of that stuff. It's going to be, I think the way that it is, like the way that I've kind of looked at it, and if we want to talk a little bit about the candidates
Yeah.
that we have just mentioned, the way that I see it is, like, I guess I would say my top three guys are Mike McDaniel, Brian Dable, and Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Those are kind of my three guys.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I think you need to get, like, I understand the likes of Charlie Weiss Jr. and the Nathan Scheelhaases and these younger guys. I get that. But my thing is, give me a guy that has called plays before, and that has a little bit of a different schematic system. And I think a guy who's been there before. And listen, if you get a guy like a Mike McDaniel, you may lose him in a year. Same thing if you were to get a guy like Nathan Scheelhaase, you may lose him in a year too as well.
Yeah.
But I think like McDaniel, you may lose him in a year. I get that. Maybe you'd lose a Cliff Kingsbury too in a year, depending on what happens.
You also might win a Super Bowl. So,
yeah, which I'm totally fine with that. But
dude, if we have to keep cycling these people, and like if we have to alternate Super Bowls and one and done, I'll do it for the rest of my life. Like if that's the deal, sign me up. You know what I mean?
It's fine by me.
Yeah, I mean we've essentially been doing it since 22. So give me it. Yeah, like if Mike McDaniel, if you think Mike McDaniel is the guy that's going to take you over the edge, which he very well could be, and you're going to win a Super Bowl but potentially lose him, and Howie said it today, we don't care. Like we want to win. Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. If we lose him, we take it as a badge of honor.
Oh.
What happened here?
I don't know. You blacked out. Blacked out. Good away.
My camera's unplugged.
Well, I'll let you do that. I want to bring up talking about some of these head coaching aspects. A couple of the Eagles coaches. I want to bring that up. We're talking about coordinator positions and everything. So Christian Parker, the DB coach for the Eagles, interviewing with the Cowboys for their DC position. A young, up and coming defensive mind that has, of course, had the likes of all pros of Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell he worked with. And then you had Michael Clay, whose contract, I believe, is up, so he can interview wherever for the same position, interviewed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I did see an interesting name if Michael Clay were to be let go to sign and be hired by another franchise. One guy I'd be interested with would be Bubba Ventrone. He's a former special teamer with the Colts and in the NFL for a number of seasons, played at Villanova. He has been, I think he's the special teams coordinator of the Browns. I'm not sure if he's still under contract or his contract is up, but he would be a guy that I think I would like to go get. He knows the area. He's from the area. I believe trying to think if he played under Nick Sirianni or if he was, I don't believe he was coaching. But I can definitely look that up here. He is at least 43 years old, so he wasn't playing when Sirianni was coaching, I don't believe.
This makes sense.
He was a special teams coordinator for the Colts from 18 to 22. So,
okay.
With the Browns, he is the assistant head coach and special teams coordinator. So, and now Kevin Stefanski could always take him. But I was thinking of Ross Ventrone, which is his brother. That's who I was thinking at first in terms of, I said playing, but he didn't play on him. But Bubba Ventrone will be a good, he's done it before, coordinator for the Colts. So
Bubba. Yeah, and that brings up a good point. We're talking about OC candidates, but with that comes a lot of overhaul on your offensive staff. Right. So
I'm expecting that.
And you know what? I would encourage it, to be honest with you. And we've talked about this on the pod before. I think Aaron Moorhead is
gone.
I don't see a value in him. Like people ask, like, oh, what does Sirianni do? What does Aaron Moorhead do? What does he do?
You're not seeing development.
Other than the development of Cooper, which I don't know how much of that actually has to do with him. You can't point to anything he's done well. The receivers suck in the scramble drill. We had unprecedented amount of drops in the in the playoffs.
I think my biggest issue is as a receiver, and a couple of times happened in that game that I'm going to bring up. The AJ on the sideline drop before he started yelling with Sirianni. He was engaged with, I think, Ronaldo Green, and he, shoved his arms away and dropped the ball. Could have easily went through Green, put his hands up, got a pass interference call, did not do that. Yeah. Jahan Dotson literally was linked up with the defender. All he had to do was jump up into the defender with his arms up, and it would have been a pass interference call.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's been number of times this year the receivers don't do that. They don't go and do that kind of stuff to get the calls.
Yeah.
You're getting yourself a free first down and a great placement of the ball depending on where it is on the field.
Well, and how many times in the beginning of the year were we talking about lazy routes?
Yeah.
Or receivers not knowing where they're going. Right? We had a couple times in games, especially early in the season, where there were 2 or 3 receivers in the same spot. And, obviously some of that is the head coach, some of that is the offensive coordinator, but a lot of that is position coaches not preparing you well enough. So I think Moorhead should be gone. I would not be opposed to Clay being gone. I think for the most part he's been somewhat overwhelming. If he came back, I wouldn't be terribly upset. But if he left, I wouldn't be either.
I
think Singleton could stay unless he has something to do with the rotation of the running backs. In that case, he needs to get Tank more carries. I think Stout really is the only one on that coaching staff that I would say is untouchable.
Yeah.
And Leffler maybe, but he's likely gone as well. If you're bringing in an offensive coordinator that likes,
if you're bringing an offensive coordinator, they're probably going to want their own QB coach. Yeah, so most likely he's gone. So it's going to be interesting to see who they bring in because, and I'm very interested.
Maybe you find a different position for Leffler.
True.
Maybe he becomes a pass game coordinator or something.
Yeah, which I'm okay with.
And Parks Frazier has experience with McDonald's, so if he comes in, then maybe you keep Parks Frazier, right? Who knows? But the point I'm trying to make is there's expected overhaul here on the offensive staff. And if I had to guess, the only one that's untouchable right now is Stout.
Yeah. I would agree with you on that.
Stout, Vic, Christian Parker, and probably the defensive staff in general.
Clint Hurt
are the only ones I wouldn't touch.
Yeah. Listen, it's to me, looking at it from, far away because we're not in the building and everything, but just I just need something in terms of a guy that's the creativity aspect. And again, it's going to be very interesting. And it's something that I kind of do want to see because I want to see a guy like Mike McDaniel because I know what his offense looks like. I watched it for how many years again with Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he were to come in here, how different is the Eagles offense going to look and how much is it going to be? Yeah, well, we'll do a little bit of your stuff, but we're still going to implement our own stuff that we've been running.
Right.
I'm very curious to see what they do along the lines of that because when you look at a Mike McDaniel offense, I do know with their offensive line, there isn't a push you, punch you in the mouth. It's a little bit different of a scheme. I believe more of a zone finesse type of scheme. So again, you can always mold and mesh the two. We're not saying they're not going to do that, but I would like to see a lot more motion. I would like to see some difference. And I would be very interested to see too, is how quickly they get out of the huddle and the calls played and plays called and
Yeah. Well, I mean, just listening to the clips that I've seen online of McDaniel, it's he just knows ball. I don't feel I feel like if I went to a bar, I could probably out scheme Patullo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't feel like he would be above my head at all. But if I'm talking to a guy like McVay or McDaniel or anybody from that tree, the Shanahans, the LaFleurs, like they know more, they forget more than we'll ever know.
Yeah.
When it comes to football. But I just like, you watch these coordinators that have their, like you watch Ben Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
and he has a receiver running through the C gap. He goes in motion on a jet sweep and runs between the guard and the tackle.
Rams do that too with Puka.
Yeah, it's that, like, that creativity, that ingenuity, that ability to make the defense, to dictate to the defense. And we talked about that ad nauseum after the Giants game, like being able to dictate the game rather than taking what's given to you. Like, you make the defense play what you want them to play. We need someone that's going to actually out scheme. When's the last time we like looked at a game where like, wow, they really out coached someone on offense?
Not very often.
I'm not even sure you could say it in 2024. To be honest with you, like, we just out muscled everybody.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever really out schemed anyone.
Not really. That's
maybe the dagger.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I'm excited because, to your point, like, we're getting people that have called plays that have had tremendous amount of success and that can like do something with the amount of talent. Like, all you have to do is like not be a shitty OC and we'll win a Super Bowl. Like, that's it. That's really, like, the bar was that low this year. It was like, just don't suck. And unfortunately we couldn't cross that bar.
Yeah, I'm going to be very interested to see. I'm intrigued with the possibility of some of these candidates. And I think it's a great year to be able to take a look at your offensive coordinator and to be able to add a new one because of the type of candidates that are out there. And I think that's something you don't always see. You don't see that every year. Now, again, some of these guys like McDaniel could get a head coaching job somewhere. There's 8 openings. So there's a lot that goes into that as well. So there's a lot to see and a lot with the next couple weeks or so that is going to be interesting, because I feel like the head coaching dominoes is going to start falling. Maybe the
Harbaugh is taken.
Yeah, and I think too, after this weekend, you're going to start seeing more and more. Teams are going to want their guys in place by the end of January. Yeah. So, you're going to want your guys in place, because when you take a look at it, you have the Senior Bowl at the end of this month. The Combine's coming up in February. So a lot of these guys want to have their staffs in place. So, we'll see where that goes. So the other thing I want to bring up too is what I have on there about, Howie and Nick speaking. They did their end of the year press conference, answer questions. A lot of it was the offensive coordinator questions. Of course, AJ Brown question. You had all that. So I went back and forth. I want your take on it. I went back and forth thinking about the AJ Brown situation, everything that goes into that. I know the camp ramifications and everything. And there was a great article today. I think it was by Jimmy Kempski, was it? He put something out. I think it was him, about the whole cap ramifications and everything.
Yeah.
And, essentially the cap goes up about 20-25% every year. So we don't have that. I don't think we have that cap number for next year up yet. I think you get it
right around the combine.
Right around the combine. So we'll get it then, see where it's at. But just taking a look, my only thing is what Howie said, talking about AJ, and he said the same kind of thing. And it's funny because somebody had mentioned that, I believe I don't know if it was Kyle Shanahan or John Lynch, when talking about Debo, literally said almost the same exact type of thing. And, Howie said it before, the whole Carson thing, the fingers thing or whatever, is like a finger on your hand, like whatever the hell that was. Yeah. He said it about Hassan Reddick, how he's a great player, all that kind of stuff. Like, he's not going to openly say, yeah, we don't want this guy anymore.
Yeah.
But kind of like he tells you, but he doesn't tell you.
He says a lot without saying anything.
Yeah. So I understand the whole cap. The cap is made up. We know this. The cap is just a manipulation of numbers, and that's what the Eagles do with it. The big thing is the cash aspect of it.
Right.
That's where I think a lot of people think, and it's been time and time again where you hear former executives or former Eagles executives and everything always talking about cash over cap.
That's why
That's what it's about.
That's why the Raiders suck, because they're not willing to pay out the cash.
Yeah. It all
They're
depends.
cash
If you have the owner that's willing to spend, like the Denver Broncos have an owner that's willing to spend, they're gonna re-up their guys. They're gonna keep their guys. That's what they do. Same with the Eagles. So you have certain owners that do it. Certain owners can't do it. They don't have the means to be able to do that kind of stuff. So that all comes into play.
Not even that they don't have the means; they just don't have the willingness to do it. Like a lot of owners are doing. It's a business for them, right? Like I think Jeffrey Lurie is legitimately obsessed with winning.
Yeah,
like obviously he likes making money, but like he wants to win.
Yeah,
and we are blessed to have those two.
But again, too, I think it was last year. Brett Holloman usually has a pretty good podcast. He had mentioned about Jeffrey Lurie selling off minority stakes in the Eagles. And essentially that was just
8%.
Giving him some cash.
Gave him $8 billion or something.
Yeah.
Or what was it, 800 million? What was it they sent it for?
Yeah, you can look that up. I'm looking up. So what I wanted to look up was AJ Brown's salary, or essentially his cap, the cap over the cap. And of course, as we know, if he's let go, if he's traded before June 1st, you have to eat $20 million in cap, and there's $43 million dead. Now, my only thing with that is you could do it after June 1st, and again, that just cuts the number down where it saves you some money, and the dead money is just split up. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Eagles do, because if it's come to a point where they think that it's better to move on, his value is high right now, essentially. If a team's looking for a receiver, can you get out of that, add some picks, go younger? Because that's another thing they talked about, was the fact of all these guys on defense and the younger and the way they draft and everything. These guys on defense are coming up for contracts. So I think you will see some defensive players drafted, but I think you're also going to see a focus on the offensive side of the ball, whether it be offensive line, tight end, another receiver.
Yeah.
You're going to see some emphasis go to the offensive side of the ball. To me, I think what's really interesting, and we'll get into it on our draft or pre-draft stuff and all that. But I'm going to be very intrigued what they do with Tanner McKee, because the quarterback class this year is not very good at all.
Yeah.
It's not deep at all. It's not.
And that's what I was going to say about receiver and tight end. They're not I haven't dug in too deep, but like quick glance, this is not a great draft class by any means, even at the top. Like you have like Caleb Downs, and like you could argue Mendoza, and like there's some good O-line, and I don't know. It's not a great draft to be looking for a wide receiver. Let's put it that way, to replace AJ Brown. Unless you're going to move up to the top 10 to 15 and get Carnell Tate,
which they're probably not going to do.
I would assume.
No, I would say no. But too, like taking a look at the Eagles, and of course, we'll get into their free agents that they have in next couple shows and everything. We'll get into that. So again, that'll keep our content rolling, going over the stay or go free agents, who they have, everything along the lines of that, which I always like those episodes because they're fun conversation starters on why we think certain things. But like, to me, there's a lot of interesting offseason questions. I'm not going to go too much longer because we're going to be able to get into this on future shows, but the Tanner McKee thing is going to be interesting, because if you can get a pick or two high pick or two for him. If it's not this year, that's fine. If it's next year, you're building yourself for that. Okay.
But then what are you doing at backup quarterback?
So this is where I was thinking about it. And I won't tell you where I was thinking about it, but you trade Tanner McKee, a needy team that needs a quarterback, whether Kyler Murray gets dealt and it's the Cardinals or if it's the Jets or whoever it may be. My thing is the OC that you bring in, potentially there's a free agent backup veteran quarterback that you sign.
Yeah. Yeah. You also have Sam Howell.
Well, he's a free agent, I believe.
Right. But you could potentially, I doubt people are scrambling to get him right now.
No, they're no. And
I struggle with this because
they didn't sign Colin McCord for futures, did they?
Mm-mm.
So
not yet.
they have time. Yes.
But yeah.
So right now they only have two quarterbacks.
They have McKee and Hurts
on the roster. Maybe again, they may not sign McCord, or if they sign him, but they may draft a guy late in the.
I would anticipate an undrafted free agent or late round.
I could see that,
like a Jalen Daniels out of Kansas or something. Like I could see something like that in the later rounds.
So before we wrap it up,
yeah,
I'm going to throw a couple names out at you.
Do it.
So when we take a look at, say, if a Kingsbury, I know Mariota was here, not sure what he was going to cost. That may be too rich for them.
No thanks.
A guy like Kenny Pickett.
No thanks.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I know.
A guy like Trey Lance.
Maybe.
I think Malik Willis potentially will get a pretty good deal somewhere.
Yeah, he's going to be a starter this year.
Tyrod Taylor. I know he's 37, but he may not cost much at all, and a veteran there.
You know who else doesn't cost a lot? Tanner McKee.
No, he doesn't. I know. But again, if a team's going to offer you.
Yeah.
See, this is where the Eagles have to see, because do they just hold him and then let him sign with a team for free agency next year and get a pick the following year, potentially a compensatory pick, depending on how much he makes or how much he gets? Again, it's going to be interesting the way that they see it. Because there isn't
signing a Sam Howell. Unless they're signing a Sam Howell, they're not. Yeah, they're not moving on from McKee.
Yeah, which again, I could see them signing a Howell. But again, it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
For sure. Between him, I think
Trubisky's only made $2.6 million last year.
Wouldn't hate it.
It's not great, but he's a great backup.
Yeah. What's Nick Foles up to? How about Carson Wentz? He's out there.
No, thank you.
His shoulder's falling off the bone.
Daniel Jones, who knows what's going on with him, whether he's even going to sign anywhere because of the injury.
Yeah.
Well, he may sign somewhere, but he may just re-sign with the Colts and then.
What about Anthony Richardson?
It's interesting. What about Russell Wilson? No, I'm only kidding.
Deshaun Watson might be available.
No, God.
I think the backup quarterback's gonna be interesting. I think AJ is gonna be interesting. I think the way they attack the O-line will be interesting.
What if they sign Travis Kelce? No, I'm kidding.
Honestly, I'd take it. I think the way they attack the O-line will be telling. Like, do we think? My personal opinion is that the health of the O-line was an issue. I don't think it was a decline in play. I think Dickerson never fully recovered from that meniscus that he tore. I think he then had hamstring issues, ankle issues, back issues. And then Juergens never had time to heal after back surgery, both of whom were coming off a 21-game season. So, like, my personal opinion is that it was a matter of just getting healthy in order for them to return back to normal. But the Eagles might think otherwise. They might have information from their doctors that say these dudes, like, this is it. Their ceiling was hit. We need to plan for the future. It'll be interesting to see how they attack that. The right guard spot is obviously an issue.
I have another one for you.
Yeah,
now,
go ahead.
Not sure how much, if this guy's going to keep playing. I don't know. He's going to be 36 come training camp. No.
Okay.
It's a tight end.
I wasn't sure if he was still on quarterback.
No. A backup tight end.
Zach Ertz or Zach Ertz?
No, Taysom Hill.
Interesting.
Just
interesting.
It's an interesting aspect. I know they're going to be like BVS will be back. Van Sumeren. Not sure how healthy he's going to be. It's going to be tough.
I think that ship has sailed. I think he's out of here.
Carson
Steele becomes your BVS,
which I'm okay with.
Yeah,
but I'm just thinking some out of the box type of things because of depending on who they bring in. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting free agency because they're not going to go big game hunting. I don't think they have the means to be able to do that. But I do think they're going to be getting some of the middle of the tier guys and guys that potentially, can still give you quality play.
Yeah, I think they'll be looking for the Brandon Brookses of the world, and the CJ
Malcolm Jenkins wasn't a super high free agent.
We all wanted Jarius Byrd. And look how that
Rodney
turned out.
McLeod, all those type of guys, those type of free agent signings and I'm more than happy with that. Listen, Hassan Reddick didn't get a ton of money. So depends on what these guys' values are, but it's going to be fun this offseason. We're going to have a lot to talk about. Make sure you're following us, all the platforms and everything. We're going to go over the offseason, draft, Senior Bowl, free agency, coaching.
Maybe we'll do an emergency pod once we get an OC and break that down.
We'll get all this stuff going. But just make sure that you are keeping an eye on, make sure you're hitting all the follow buttons, liking, subscribing, everything there. So when our contact goes live or shows up, you get notified, letting you know, and, interact, give us your input, comment, all that kind of stuff.
We love that. We love hearing the comments, seeing the comments. We love it when you guys come on here and throw a comment if you're on YouTube. Continue to.
We're not in the know. We're just fans enjoying it, having fun, giving our opinions. Our opinions aren't what needs to be. It's what we think. Everyone thinks differently. So we're always welcome to different opinions, different fan bases. I don't care who you root for.
Hopefully
I do care who you root for, but I'm not going to be an asshole and call you names, stuff like that. I'm going to disagree with you, but
you just do that to me.
Just do that to you. That's fine. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Fuck Duquesne.
Whoa.
What?
That was uncalled for.
I'm sorry.
Uncalled for.
Sorry,
mountain pigeons.
Yeah. Well, who won this year?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Neither one of us. Neither one of us hoisted a trophy. So.
Well, I heard Duquesne pulled the Jane Franklin and asked Lehigh not to be on their schedule this year, just like they did JMU.
Really?
I'm only kidding, but I'm just making a joke.
I know you are. It was a terrible joke.
Sir Franklin and
you know what? Don't interact with Johnny. Just interact with me.
The Virginia Tech Pokies.
Hopefully we have some uniform news this year.
Yeah.
Right. We'll keep you updated on that as well. But I just want to take a quick second and just say thank you to everyone that's followed us along this year. This was my first full year with All About the Birds. So thank you for tagging along with us, Johnny. Thank you for having me this year. It's been a lot of fun. I love where this is going. I love the growth that we're having here. We love hearing from you guys. So keep it up. Continue to take the ride with us. If you guys have any, feedback, we're always welcome there as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's why we're here. We're having fun, enjoying it, and we're having fun with everyone else, all you guys. So as we always ended with a very happy,
kind of sad.
Enjoy. Well, very.
Hey, but somber. No Patullo.
Yeah, that's why we're happy.
Hey,
go Birds.
Go Birds.
This is Matt Ware. Hey, for all the Eagle content you need, go follow All About the Birds. They do a damn thing. Check them out.
Hey, Eagles fans, I may be in Tampa, but I know where to find the best Eagles content out there. Check out my friends at All About the Birds.
Philadelphia, what's up? This your boy Freddie Mitchell, a.k.a. Fred X. It's all about the bird.
All birds all the time. All birds all the time.
All About the Birds provides you with weekly analysis, game recaps, informative interviews, and it's all birds all the time.